purpose of this speech is to inform you, the audience, of the best practices of buying a car and saving the most amount of money. There are many ways to assure yourself that you're getting a good car deal on the new car you're buying, your trade-in, and your financing needs. Have you ever tried to buy or bought a new car and it felt like you got ripped off, or were completely clueless as far as what your trade-in's worth or what a good interest rate might be? Well, I'm here to answer some of those questions, and with 10 years of car selling and management experience, I can help you save a lot of money. There are 3 key elements for finding the car you want and saving the most amount of money. Number 1, finding the car you want and the one you can afford. Number 2, get your financing done before you ever step foot on a dealership showroom floor. Number 3, treat your trade and purchase as 2 separate transactions. First of all, you need to figure out what you can afford and the car you need. On finding out what you can afford, the old rule of thumb was if you can't put 20% down and finance no longer than 36 months, you don't need to buy the car. Realistically speaking, in today's world with the price of cars, that's hard to do. So find a car you can live with for 4 or 5 years and finance it no longer than 60 months. As far as finding the car that you want, there are many online resources. For used cars, there's Autotrader.com, NADA.com, Edmunds.com, which all have used car listings nationwide from dealers and consumers just like yourself. As far as new car goes, Consumer Reports has new vehicle price listings, which will actually give you the dealer invoice on the car, which is a great starting point for negotiations. According to Consumer Reports website, a reasonable price for a vehicle is about 1 to 5% above dealer costs. Don't overbuy. You don't want to get in a situation where 3 to 4 months down the road you realize you can't afford the car. You got to get out of it, because that can be a hard situation to be in. In most cases, a vehicle will depreciate at a faster rate than you pay the loan off, leaving you in a situation where you're going to end up owing more on the car than what it's actually worth. And that's never a good situation to be in. As far as your monthly payment goes, Consumer Reports experts recommend a total debt payment of no more than 36% of your gross monthly income before taxes. And when they say total debt payment, they mean all your payments combined, installment loan payments combined, including your house payment, your car payment, your credit card payments, all of that combined. In fact, according to their website, you can use the following steps to determine how much you can afford. Number 1, calculate what your 36% of your gross monthly income is. Number 2, itemize in total all payments, including your house payment, your credit card payments, and any other miscellaneous installment loan payments you might have. And 3, subtract that amount from the 36% of your gross total monthly income. In this example here, I used $3,000 a month as your gross monthly income. I used $500 a month for your house payment, which is roughly 17% of your gross monthly income. $100 for your credit card payments, which is roughly 3% of your gross monthly income. 7% in miscellaneous payments, which is around $200 a month, leaving you 9% of your gross monthly income for your car payment, which is roughly $280 a month. This other 64% of the income left may seem like a lot, but if you figure in insurance premiums, health insurance, utility bills, grocery costs, that can add up pretty quick as well. According to Consumer Reports, taxes and registration can increase your out-of-pocket costs by as much as 10% or more. And driving a car that is worth more than the one you're currently driving will also cost more to insure. Secondly, get pre-approved first. In the book titled Get Clark Smart, author Clark Howard states, the first thing to do is pre-qualify for a loan so that you'll know how much you can afford and what type of monthly payment you'll have to budget for. Dealerships do offer in-house financing, and this is not necessarily a bad option, but having multiple choices is always a better option, helps you negotiate the interest rates better. And I was a financial service manager for a dealership for 7 years and know from experience that most lenders will offer the dealer a discount rate and let the dealer mark that up 2 to 3 percentage points to make money on that loan. For instance, if you have a 5% loan, if your credit gives us a 5% rate, we can mark it up to 7 or maybe even 8% and make that spread in interest rate money. Again, having more options will help you negotiate a better rate with the dealer and get you the best rate possible. Howard also states Try online lenders such as eloan.com, whose rates usually will be at least a full point below those of a traditional bank. Consumer Reports suggests using bankrate.com. Tara Backus Mello of bankrate.com says, get approved for your loan first. Shop around for the best rates online and via local lenders to see what's the best rate you qualify for, and then ask the dealer if they can beat it. Chances are they can. As I stated earlier, the rates, like anything else in the dealership, are negotiable. And last, work the figures out on the car before you ever even work the figures out on the trade-in. You always want to treat those as two separate transactions. According to Consumer Reports, only after you've settled on the price should you discuss financing, leasing, or trade-in, or a trade-in as necessary. Negotiate each item individually. An example, let's say you walk into a dealership and say, I want $10,000 for my trade-in, and they appraise the car and come to the conclusion it's only worth $8,000. What they would typically do in that situation is they would raise the price of the car you're buying by $2,000 so they can still show you the $10,000 and close you on the car deal. In the car business, we call that over allowance. And another example, let's say you walk in there and say, I want that car over there and I'll give you $20,000 for it. In reality, the cheapest they could sell that car for is $22,000 without losing any money. They'll take that $8,000 trade-in you have and show you $6,000 for it, and show you $20,000 again to close the car deal. In the car business, we call this under allowance. Again, if you treat those as two separate transactions, you'll avoid this, and you'll assure yourself of getting the real figures on the car and your trade-in. And as far as getting the best price for your trade and knowing what your trade's actually worth, there are lots of online resources for that as well. You've got NADAguides.com, KVB.com, which is Kelley Blue Book, and Edmunds.com. All will give you an average price, average trade-in price for the vehicle you're looking for. And that'll give you, again, a good starting point in negotiations and give you an idea of what the dealer should be giving for your car. If they're not getting close to that average price, you need to shop around at other dealers. According to Philip Reed, Senior Consumer Advice Editor at Edmunds.com, says, it is important that you get the maximum value for your trade-in. You should visit several dealerships and solicit bids. Tell the salesperson that the sale of the car will be contingent on the amount he or she will give you for the trade-in. Bottom line is there are many ways to get a good deal on a car. But if you feel good about it and the vehicle fits your needs and your monthly budget, you're probably getting a good deal. In conclusion, before you go to the lot, do your research online. There's so many resources available today for us to get online, find out the best price for the trade-in, find out the best price in the new car, find out the best interest rates. We can have more knowledge than ever before when we step foot in the dealership. Secondly, get pre-approved. Know what your credit score is, know what the best interest rate you can get, and again, the more knowledge you have going in there, the more power you have in the negotiation process. And last, but definitely not least, treat your new purchase and your trade as two separate transactions. This alone will save you more money than any other process in the car buying experience. Car buying doesn't always have to be a pain in the neck, and if you follow these instructions, it won't be a pain in your wallet either.